Welcome to the HoCo Cyber Collective Podcast, where community, technology, and stories converge.
Hey everyone, thanks. This is the HoCo Cyber Collective for our end of week meetup. I've got Tom, Manoj, Josh, myself have shown up, and it is going to snow this weekend, and I am trying to prepare for that. Right now, Josh was kind enough. Last episode, he'd gone through his presentation. We got some feedback on just how, this coming Tuesday, there's the sort of final pitch competition. I guess. Who here is going to be pitching? I wasn't planning on it. I don't think that's
I think it's
open.
only cohort 2 that it's
That's what
open
I
to.
thought.
I'm pitching. I guess Bob asked us
Yeah.
at the meeting we had in Rockville last week, and I think a lot of us, including myself, volunteer that will be do. Of course, Tom, Josh, myself, and I think there are maybe three more guys.
I think there are 6 people pitching total.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I told Bob that I would like to pitch.
And Josh, do you remember he said he would like to get the deck by a certain day? Is that today?
He just
Like
said
if
no, by the morning.
by the morning. Okay, so as long
By
as
Tuesday morning.
we turn it in by Tuesday morning, we are good, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking about.
Good,
I'm just
good,
going to
good.
go through the exercise of making the 5-slide deck, just so I now have a five slide
Yeah.
deck. Practice it and then send it, and then they can decide then if they want me to give it or not. I don't need the prize money. I always like practice. But yeah, I'm excited to hear that. Says, this is the second.
Yeah.
You guys are the second group that has gone through. If you don't mind sharing, what's your feedback on the program, having now gone through basically everything except graduation?
I mean, I found it very interesting. As I've mentioned, I am brand new to the cybersecurity industry from a completely and utterly unrelated industry. I'm also brand new to Maryland and the area in general. So all of this is new to me, and it was good perspective and good contacts.
And thinking about it, getting to meet the county executive in
Yep.
person, to your point, if you are trying to transplant into this area, there are a lot of people that we've gotten to meet. And that's just one thing I'll say, and I say this as someone who got to sort of audit the course a second time, and participate, and again, have a new, fresh set of faces in these meetings, which is always much appreciated. Um, I hope that they keep doing that cohorts 1 and 2 are allowed to come back,
Yeah.
because now you guys get to give your perspectives on the next set of people. And again, if you think about with long-term planning, the more of us that are in this group, the more opportunities there are for us to collaborate, to share information. Like, I personally have learned so many things, so many programs, the names of people that I didn't know existed. And I
Mhm.
think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
I'll echo what you guys are saying. Good connection, good facility, good speakers. Most of all, every week they brought in interesting speakers, and there was so much to
Yeah.
learn, investors, techies, and others. So that's the part I like the most. These speakers, had so much to offer, and especially the last week, whenever that was, the NCCOE visit. I love that because because I am playing with quantum, so we could go to I could talk to their quantum guy, and he showed us around.
well,
And
actually, if you don't mind me asking, I was not unfortunately able to make that. Could you share a little bit about what it was like and what your experiences were? Anyone who went, I'd love to hear about what you guys did.
over to you, Tom and Josh. We all
So
were there.
yeah, the talks, it was a couple of speakers, mostly on how to get new people into the cybersecurity industry, and trainings and stuff like that, rather than any of the more technical stuff. Um, and then a bunch of networking, and then after the fact, the cohort was brought back to meet the cybersecurity team at NIST, where we got to introduce ourselves and hear about some of their projects and how to basically how to work with them. And then we got a tour of the facility of their offices.
That's great.
Yeah, the event, the visit, the Howard County cohort visit to the NCCOE, the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence, which is a part of NIST, that was scheduled to coincide with a community workshop day on cyber education and cyber workforce development. So that was the main part of the day. Was the morning was, as Josh said, listening to some speakers and panelists talk about where we are with workforce development in cybersecurity and some of the new things that are coming up and some of the challenges they face. So it really didn't have a lot of bearing on cybersecurity product companies per se. It seemed to be more about the workforce that operates in SOCs and enterprise network operations and that sort of thing, cyber defense. But the second part of our visit there, which was the face-to-face meeting with the NCCOE director and her staff, as Josh said, was good. They had good representation there. They explained how they do their projects, how they're set up, how they get participation. From our point of view, I think as product companies and startups, it's a good opportunity to engage with NIST, but it's also something that is on your nickel, and there's no financing opportunities through that engagement, and there's no direct financing opportunities to engage with the so you're doing it on your own out of goodwill to be part of the community of interest. And everything they want to have products that are commercially available. So I think that kind of eliminates some of the cohorts members who don't yet have a product that's commercially available yet. But they're certainly willing to engage with companies and answer questions, and that was very positive.
That makes sense.
I was surprised to learn too how much of their staff was actually not government, even though they're NIST and they present themselves as government. They only have, I think, of 120, did they say? 140?
There was something like that.
Staff.
Maybe it was like 15 or 20.
Only about 20 of them are government. The rest are all lighter employees.
Very cool. Interesting. So like government adjacent.
Yeah.
Well, MITRE's an FFRDC, so they're unusual in that regard.
That's cool. And what was the quantum stuff that you?
Yeah. So just like they have simultaneously they work on many projects, including a quantum project. So there is one gentleman who runs the whole quantum operation, and they have multiple projects running in parallel in quantum. And the way it works is they have X number of government agencies or private funding, private like IBM, Google, etc. They all participate as a team on those projects. And so one way to get into that on any of those projects is you show your expression of interest and you become part of that project. So anything that comes out of that project work product, you could use it and your name will be published on the white paper or whatever they produce later on. So that is the general template how they work on any project. Now, of course, they are on top of quantum, quantum day and what's coming and different quantum applications. So the person who heads that, he took us to his lab. He explained everything in detail. And what I was looking at is if substantial amount of research is already done in quantum, there is no point in reinventing the wheel because I want to build this quantum product and sell. So I was looking at it from a businessman point of view, and so I can show the expression of interest and understand their theory, application, and everything, and build a product. So yeah, they showed everything they have been doing, their publications. It's all open source on their website. We can read, we can look at the findings and all. And they showed their hardware, their servers, etc. When they were giving us the tour.
And just did they give any insight into how long they think until because again, the quantum computers aren't real yet. We're simulating them. I always have to remind myself of that because they talk a lot of the quantum talk is like that. Yeah, you can just get a quantum computer if you need. Um, how far off do they think a practical or if it ever, do they give any indication on that?
No, they didn't.
I don't think they're really looking at that problem in their project. So they're looking at post-quantum cryptography and what will that be like when quantum comes along. So they're dealing with a different issue. It's the issue they're trying to deal with. We have all this PKI out there everywhere in all of our systems. How do we have crypto agility and be able to swap that out with a new cipher when we have that?
They're developing an air defense system before the airplane is fully up and running for a hypothetical world in which warfare is fought using airplanes. That's, I guess, how I would sort of wrap my monkey brain around that. That's pretty slick.
Well, think of it this way too, though. It's math.
Yeah.
So it's fairly straightforward for them to understand what a quantum computer can do mathematically and to recognize that the existing asymmetric ciphers that we have for PKI are going to get broken. And so we need something that's got stronger math.
Right. Harder problems.
Yes.
Because
it was nice that they verified that AES 256 is still sufficient for anything.
Excellent.
Which is nice. I mean,
yeah,
the asymmetric is not, but the symmetric is good.
Yeah. And that's, I think, yes, that's right. And they don't, because they're focused on asymmetric in their project, they kind of gloss over symmetric. But it is in the NIST documents.
I always love hearing the reality to ground it, and then you see like the depiction of them in like fiction, where it's basically just a quantum computer is a magic computer, is their understanding of it, that can do whatever it needs to do, whatever the plot demands it need to do.
Yeah.
I guess that's the only explanation when they show some guy brute forcing 256-bit encryption with his laptop, and it's going to take a few hours or something like that. But cool. Well, thanks for sharing all that stuff. Tom, you mentioned do you have your pitch presentation? Do you want to run through it?
I don't have it yet. I've been busy. I've been missed a number of these sessions, and I have to leave on time today. I've missed a number of sessions because we've been working on getting a new product out. We've taken our workload security product and we've repackaged it, or I should say we bundled that into a new product that's called Lane 7 Blueprints. So we're essentially pre-configuring the Kubernetes manifest for our proxy and for the applications so that you already get in a zip bundle everything you need to deploy a application network in less than 30 minutes. So you don't have to have a lot of skill to deal with Kubernetes or YAML files or anything like that. It's all been pre-configured for you.
Okay.
And the idea is, even though we have kind of a dumb application in that network, the business logic part of that application can be removed and replaced with something more sophisticated without breaking any of the communication and networking and security
Okay.
folks that are connecting it.
So you make their environment more agnostic in that you can swap out different parts without breaking everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's agnostic. It's less complex and it's simpler and faster. So typically a DevOps or a platform engineer might spend weeks or months trying to get an application network to operate with TLS and PKI certificates and
I got you.
connections and path routing and all of that stuff. And we've been able to sort of figure out how to do it in a simple blueprint that they can get the whole thing done in less than 30 minutes. So it's the complexity and the friction and the time that we're reducing with the blueprints, as well as making it easier for a lower skilled DevOps engineer to actually do something productive.
Right. Well, and repeatability is the other big thing that
Yes.
you've done the hard work once. Like you said, don't reinvent the wheel. And also, even if it's a senior person, there's pesky human error accounts for so much things. And a lot of these tools are great because this is brilliant. You're removing your customer's ability to make a mistake, basically, you know, uh,
Yeah.
and
They,
making
they,
it quicker
people,
time to value too. You're not
yes.
tinkering with it for months to get it to do anything. You immediately, almost out of the box. Um, that's a pretty good. So, do you have any more information on it you want to share? Because that's a pretty interesting
So
idea.
yeah, we have on our website, we have a page called Lane 7 Blueprints, and it's got a catalog of um, 4 or 5 different blueprints we've already produced. So we have a 2-pod application, what we call a bipod application network. We have different patterns of communication, a tripod that fans in, a tripod that fans out. And so each of these is kind of a building block for a larger application network where you can stack the various blueprints on top of each other and scale up to a larger application network and still have the zero trust and automated moving target defense. So if you scroll down, Colin, towards the bottom, you'll see a section that says Lane 7 catalog or
I just went to the main website.
yeah, right. Go down one more section.
There
Yeah,
we go.
go down a little bit further. Right there. So those are the different blueprints in those accordion files. If you click on one of the accordions, it'll open and kind of show what is going on. So we've pre-configured all of these blueprints so that you can deploy them in less than 30 minutes. You can change the business logic in them, and then you can stack them on top of each other to sort of, plug them together to make a larger application network that covers all the patterns and connections you would need.
It's almost like a Lego type system where you're
Yeah.
snapping together different high level pieces. And I just got to say, kudos for the art design on it. I love the little blueprint effect. That just really looks really cool.
Yeah, and the thing is that you in all of these cases you're preserving the zero trust and automatic moving target defense, all of the security features, and you're able to do this without worrying about PKI certificates or MTLS configurations. So it's very easy to
Yeah.
um,
If we're thinking about it, it's almost like you're drawing a black box around what I've just highlighted, and everything in here is secure. So when we're doing things outside, we know we won't accidentally break something that we've previously fixed.
yeah, and you'll see that we're working on multi-cluster benefits. So that'll be the next one to come along, and we're also having different blueprints for different communication protocols as well. Right now, these are all Python, HTTP apps, but you could do it in a different language and a different protocol besides HTTP might be gRPC or HL7 or something. So we'll be adding more blueprints to the catalog as we go along.
But that's the best part about this sort of thing is that this is just the beginning. You just keep adding to it.
Yeah.
And, that's pretty slick.
Yeah, and there's a documents repository as well. If you go back up to the right there, read the docs. So you can go to our docs website
Oops, I am a human. Oh,
That's interesting. I haven't seen that before. You should be able to get to the doc. I may have to make that public. That's a good test. Thank you for
you're welcome.
finding that issue.
But
I should try that with in incognito mode to make sure it
that's a good point.
okay.
I wonder if there was a cookie thing I didn't accept, but yeah,
That wouldn't be it, but I think I have to make it public.
okay. Well, that was a free test, so
Yeah.
that's pretty slick. Thanks for sharing that. So lane 7, is that just an extension of just the Hopper brand?
Well, the blueprints have their own names, but lane 7 is the collection, and it really is the fact that we're doing everything at layer 7, and we're essentially creating these secure lanes or secure channels between every pod in the network,
Gotcha.
every pod in the blueprint.
That's pretty cool.
Well, let me hop off. Thank you, Colin, for the chance to speak, and
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
I hope I'll see you on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to that, to see everybody. So good. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
all right, have a great day.
All right.
I gotta hop
Bye.
off too, guys. So thank you, Tom. Thank
All
you,
right.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Good seeing you guys.
Okay, same here. Bye.
And Josh, it's us again.
The few and the faithful.
Yes. Well, I'm trying my New Year's resolution is to be more, consistent about it. I was good at the beginning, of course, when it's exciting. I have managed to get up to over 20 episodes, which is, still not a small amount.
Yeah.
My son would still probably ask why I'm bad at YouTube, but why aren't you getting millions of views, Dad? There's an algorithm.
Because very few people get that.
Because I didn't start doing it 10 years ago. That's why.
Yeah.
That's the trick. All you got to do is start and grind for 10 years. It's one of these, my son does tell me in all honesty, like, it's what do you want to be when you grow up? He wants to be a YouTuber. And as someone who watches YouTube quite a bit, it's like saying, Dad, I want to play basketball, or I want to play professional baseball. Like, great. you know, I don't want to.
What's your backup?
And I'm not saying that you won't succeed. However, I think there's a lack of appreciation of the amount of effort and luck, to be honest, that's going into that.
Yeah.
But, who knows what it's going to look like when he could actually technically have his own account on that. It's right now it's Daddy has an account that you get to use.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't run afoul of Copa.
How old is he?
He is 9. So technically, all of his is like, yeah, I got a Minecraft realm. Don't you, none of his friends seem to have a realm of their own or all these things that, a dual monitor setup that, sometimes your dad works in IT, and so there's benefits to that. Do you want to run through your updated pitch, or?
Unfortunately, I've not finished it.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I still have to build 2 more slides.
Gotcha. Yeah, the slide presentation, there comes a point, and I'm sure you're getting there, once you've made a 10-minute presentation, then it becomes easier to make a 8-minute presentation, 5-minute presentation, and each one of these is a new PowerPoint, basically, so it's iterative. So the whole shrinking it down, do they tell us how long we have?
5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
That process, and I will encourage everyone I know we're going to work on it. It's a good thing to do while you're all snowed in, and hopefully that doesn't impact our ability to get to. I just thought of that.
I mean, it's Tuesday evening, so that's plenty of time to deal with road work.
I would hope so. I don't know. Apparently this is going to be a significant snow. So,
yeah, I'm seeing predictions of a foot.
Yeah. There's a big difference once you get above a foot that you don't appreciate until, it happens, especially when we have street parking in our neighborhood that I hope you moved your car into a driveway if you have one because you're going to get plowed in.
Yeah.
Um, and all those delivery services aren't going to work too well if your road isn't plowed. So hopefully everyone's probably panic buying bread and toilet paper. It's the Maryland way.
Yeah.
Um, but no, just and again, I sent it out to you. Feel free. I have a Calendly link quite specifically
Mhm.
for, hey, I want to run through my pitch presentation.
Yeah.
Just you have the link, just click it. It should show my schedule, so I know, not everybody can make these times, and I'm happy to do it. Because I'd love to see it because it's fun to
Yeah.
watch these, especially when you see it iterate from what you presented to what you'll show on Tuesday. And the feedback that you got from Keith about talking during the slides is made easier if you have run through your pitch presentation more than once.
Definitely.
I learned that lesson the hard way where it's like, all right, and then I didn't realize how long this animation and transition was going to take. This is a lot of dead air. Ugh.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Well, anything else you're working on that you want to share?
No, I mean, I'm just plugging away at my thing, dealing with a lot of manual memory allocation this week, which was a
Gotcha.
lot of fun.
So for what it's worth, and when you were reading the feedback about how I have a really technical argument that I'm making, that's a bold claim that you're, a very special
Hmm.
claim that you're special. Well, allow me to explain to you why I am
Yeah.
special. To a certain extent, again, with what became Guard Tower, it was a very, 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 very different way of doing things where I couldn't explain it. It took me 45 minutes to explain the value
Yeah.
proposition of it. Um, to now, I got an elevator pitch that I can do. Especially, and I'll say this, that when the pitch presentation time limit is there, a certain amount of abstraction is acceptable. And
Yeah.
what I came to realize is the real goal is to pique the interest of your audience to come up to you afterwards and say,
Yep.
hey, you
You need
asserted
to,
something on that slide. I'd like to hear more. Or a judge will ask you about it, which this is
yep.
your. So I hope you're prepared for that. That
Yep.
now I baited out that question sort of thing. It's the little tricks that you learn.
Yeah. I mean, in my appendix slides, I have slides specifically that address the majority of his questions.
Yep. Yeah. It's the call to action, I think, is the big one of you made bold claims. I'd like to hear more about them. Oh, here's Mike. Send me an email. We'll take this offline where we can get the
Get into detail. Yeah.
30-minute hour-long meeting, just you and me with people that have self-selected as being interested, as opposed to trying to explain it to all of us. And, it's like
Yeah.
really technical. Because I will admit, yours is pretty interesting, where it's just like because I definitely see the problem that you are trying to solve. It's not immediately apparent, but it's one of those little insidious things that you think you're safe, but
Yep.
nope, you might not be. So, cool. Well, I'll let you get back to it. The manual memory allocation sounds fun. I'm going to clear out space in my garage so that I can go rent a pickup truck and get the gas-powered snowblower at my dad's house with my buddy. I'm turning in one of the I helped you move credits that
Yes.
I've
Yes.
got. It's a little unbalanced. I'm turning one in for it. Help me move a heavy snowblower. It's a good value for him.
Well, I mean, I'm impressed you're getting a snowblower from someone ahead of you're borrowing a snowblower ahead of a big snowfall.
It's a curse. It's my job is literally disaster recovery and business continuity planning. I have to look at any given situation and think, what's the worst that could happen? And how would we
Mhm.
recover from that? It's why when the world started shutting down with COVID, I called my both my in-laws and my dad like a crazy person and said, "What's our plan? What? We got to get out of here. There's community spread. Like, what are you talking about? Like, trust me, I've seen movies. You don't want to be late."
I've seen movies.
Well, my in-laws were in New York, and I told them to come stay in our house in Maryland because, you know, you never want to be in New York in a pandemic.
Yeah.
But again,
they make movies
movies
about
have
that.
taught us these things, and we didn't see them for 6 months outside of FaceTime. Thank goodness such technologies existed. Otherwise, it was the longest my wife has gone without seeing her mom and dad, you know.
Yeah.
So good times. But no, well, good seeing you, Josh, and
Yeah, good to see you too.
and I'll see you on Tuesday, and I'm going to try to bring a camera and see if I can record everyone's presentations or ask if they're going to do that so that we could, just like I said, having
Yeah.
a recording of a presentation is a useful asset to have because you could just share it with people.
Mhm.
So, well, thanks for everyone for tuning in. We're going to sign off again. Thanks for joining us, the HoCo Cyber Collective. Stay warm, everyone. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the HoCo Cyber Collective Podcast. Stay connected, stay curious, and join us again for our next episode.
Brought to you by the HoCo Cyber Collective.